Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Empowered Half Hour. I'm your host, Becca Powers, international keynote speaker and USA Today bestselling author, and I am here by myself today just to talk to you. So, guys, we did it. We made it through another year, and here we are at the end of 2024. It's the last episode of the 2024 podcast season, and I thought that I would just spend some time sharing some of the thoughts that have been on my mind. So, as I look at reflecting on 2024, the three words that come up for me are grieving, achieving, and gratitude. And they may or may not sound like they go together, but that is life. And you might hear Marley in the background. She's having a field day on the couch over there. But anyways, so in March, as you guys know, I lost my brother. I didn't really lose him per se, but he passed away and transitioned. And that left me as the sole survivor of my family. And that's come with a lot of heaviness and a lot of reflection. I find myself missing him daily. I find myself looking for signs daily. And as many of you know who follow me, that the moment he passed away, my sister-in-law and myself, we saw dragonflies everywhere. So the dragonfly has really become a symbol, not only for my brother, but for transformation, for a confirmation that I'm going in the right direction. I feel that there's so much to be grateful for, even though I'm experiencing a deep loss. And you might relate to this too. I want you to think about, what are you grieving from 2024? There's so many people that lost their jobs, lost loved ones, and maybe lost a lifestyle they used to have, or lost themselves and just continuing to move through the motions of day-to-day lives. And I think that there's an opportunity for us to pause and find out in self-reflection, what have we gained from this? And not just what we lost. I mean, what did I physically lose? I physically lost the relationship with my brother. But what did I gain? I have gained a deeper sense of my spirituality, my connection to him, because I am reminded of him daily. And that fills me with a lot of relief. And so if your heart is hurting this holiday season, what I want to say to you is look for the good. There is good in everything. And I'm not just saying that because I have a positive outlook on life, which I do, but it's a choice we get to make. We get to choose how we look at things and the meaning that we assign to things. In a Return to Radiance, in part 2, I talk about change the meaning, change your life. We get to choose the meaning that we assign to things. And I could sit here and say, oh, I'm the sole survivor of my family. This means that I'm alone. But it's not true. I am surrounded, I have a husband, I have 4 kids. While my mom, dad, and brother might be passed away, I am not alone. I am very much loved. I am very much supported. And that meaning that I could assign to losing my family of I'm alone would only hurt me. It would isolate me. It would make me feel unloved and unsupported in this great big world. And that's not a good way to go looking at everything. And so as I sit and I reframe this, I get to choose that this meaning of now having my mom, dad, and brother transition means that I get to explore my self-resilience. I get to choose my family. I get to choose my friendships. I get to choose who I let in to love. And I also get to allow others to love and support me in maybe a way that I wouldn't experience if my parents and my brother was still here, because I do have a void. And so I have, it does take a village. It does take more people to come in and fill that void. And if I was in the mindset of I'm alone versus I'm supported and there's enough humans out there to love and support me, that feeling of I'm alone would potentially drive me to dis-ease, mental health issues, emotional health issues. And I have this great big life that I want to live. And that I am living. I'm a mom to a blended family of 4. I have a husband. I have this beautiful career of being able to share deep insights and wisdom and personal transformation with you and the readers of my books and the audiences of my keynotes. I have so much to live for, and so do you. And so I wanted to start with grieving, because I think that we are conditioned at the end of the year to be grateful. And I do want to end this podcast on gratitude, but I wanted to start it in grieving because I just want to give you permission to grieve. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to be mad, mad. If you need to scream, go into your car where you're by yourself and freaking scream. Grieving is an emotion that means that there was deep love or deep connectedness, and that there is a loss. So don't feel ashamed of your grieving. Give it a space to move through you. I find myself I go to Hot Works a lot, and it's a 45-minute workout in a sauna, and I cry a lot in Hot Works. But guess what? I get to choose to do that. I give my grief someplace to go. And so I'd love to give you permission, if you have anything that you're grieving, to give your grief someplace to go. And please, please honor it. And with that, I want to transition to achieving. For myself, again, this has been such a wild year because it has been one of my most, I would say, knee-dropping, painful years. Losing my brother definitely has brought me down to my knees multiple times in grief. However, it's also been the year of some of my biggest achievements. I just did my second back-to-back year of hitting President's Club at Cisco, it's a sales champion, but it's my 10th in my whole career. So I just went double digits, and I'm like, how can I be so sad and then also have all these wonderful things happening? I don't understand. And then, of course, A Return to Radiance has been my book baby for going on 2 years, and even longer as far as putting the concepts together and stuff. And it released in October and hit USA Today. Like, oh my God, like that, talk about being in your radiance. Like, that's A Return to Radiance. Like, here I am being able to express my gifts and my purpose with the world, and wonderful things are happening. And it felt so, there was moments during the high achievement that I actually felt guilty for achieving. And then I'm like, wait, my brother's death actually has nothing to do with my achieving. My achievements are based upon the momentum and the groundwork I have laid down over the course of years. So again, I just want to offer a state of reflection. What have you achieved this year? And have you taken the time to celebrate it? In October, I had a celebration for the book release, had about 60 people there. And instead of having it marketing reasons and having it open to the public, which at some point I'll probably still do in case there's anyone local that wants to come and, talk and have a book signing and all that. But I really wanted to honor the space of like love and support, and to share this monumental moment with the people I love the most. And I had 60 people there that I love, and they loved me. And I remember walking up to the front of the room and laying eyes on everybody. And the first words out of my mouth was, look at all this love I found. And it was just such a beautiful moment in time, because it really helped reinforce that we are multidimensional, that we live in multiple ands. And so as I'm sharing some of my achievements of 2024, I want again to turn it to you. And I'd ask the question, what were some of your achievements in 2024? But have you celebrated them? Have you shared them with anyone that you love? A lot of times when it comes to achievement, we don't share our achievements because we feel like it's bragging. But it also is really sad to not celebrate our achievements, because there's this thing from a science perspective, a neuroscience perspective, called a positive feedback loop. And when you start to celebrate small wins and share that with others, and then others celebrate you in return, it creates a connection within your programming that says, oh, this is good, and creates the space for more. So wouldn't you want to achieve more of what you want? It's not about achieving for an award, but achieving more of what you want in life, seeing your dreams come to fruition, your goals get accomplished. If you had the opportunity to, from like a neuroscience perspective, reinforce good things coming in, wouldn't you want to do that? So again, just want to leave you with that. Give yourself permission to grieve, and give yourself permission to celebrate achievement. It is so good for you. And then the next thing I want to move into is gratitude. So how can you be grateful when you have deep pain? I actually think that gratitude, this is just in my own experience, is my way through the pain. It's really easy, again, to, I don't even want to say play the victim because the pain is real and loss is real, but it is easy to get trapped in victim mindset. That's a better way of saying it. And there's a lot of things that gratitude helps the energy. Gratitude, well, let me rewind that. So, gratitude helps your energy move. It helps recalibrate something that might have caused pain into something that may give you purpose. And that's been my biggest realization, is that the more I think about, I am so grateful for the time I got with my brother. He was only 43 when he passed. I mean, and it's a tragedy, and I could start crying about it in 2.5 seconds if I allowed myself. But I'm very grateful for the time that I got with him. I'm very grateful for the impact he made in the world. In his world, he was very impactful, from his employees to his relationships, and how that impact had a ripple effect. I'm very grateful for my ability to have self-reflection, resilience, to express my radiance, my gifts of speaking and writing. Gosh, I could be sitting here not expressing those things and feeling very stifled. So I want to ask you, what are you grateful for? Can you list at least 3 things that you're grateful for? Are you appreciating yourself? Like, it took me a long time to get to a place where I appreciated myself, but it's been a game changer. I appreciate who I am. I appreciate the efforts I take. I appreciate the intentions that I have behind the work that I do. I really have learned to appreciate myself a lot more. And that's another invitation that I want to extend to you as we do major self-reflection here at the end of the year, is list maybe 3 to 5 things that you appreciate about yourself, not about someone else. We can easily pick someone and be like, I appreciate this person because of this and then because of that. I want you to appreciate yourself. That's the game changer in this. And then you can go to overall gratitude, write a list of 5 to 10 things that you're grateful for. It is the season to do that. It's a great practice to have throughout the whole year. But as you're wrapping up the year, self-reflection and gratitude is the way to go. So I just want to say to you as the listeners that thank you for tuning in every 2 weeks to the newly released episodes. I can't have a podcast without listeners, and from the reviews that I get to the personal messages that I get to the shares that I see on social, it tells me that you are enjoying the content, and that means more to me than anything. So thank you again for tuning in to the Empowered Half Hour. You hear me say tea time. So I want you, don't know if I've ever shared where that came from. So the acronym for the Empowered Half Hour is TEHH. And I was like, well, I guess I could say that any way I want to, but it would be really cool to say that as tea and to call it tea time, because the world definitely needs some positivity. And so that's why I ended up saying it's tea time, baby. So with that, if you like this show, please, please, please give us a 5-star review. Write some comments about what you like most about this. Share it with your friends. Get it out into the world, because empower people, and we get to spread good vibes out there. So I'm wishing you a wonderful closure to 2024 and a beautiful beginning to 2025. Thank you for being a valued listener. And once again, thanks for listening to the Empowered Half Hour.